I'm Ron Olesko, and I'll be co-hosting today with my good friend Sonny Oakes. We have quite an afternoon ahead of us. Now, some of you regulars out there, you may be wondering, why in the heck is the Greenwich Village Folk Festival on a Sunday afternoon? I mean, normally it's on the first Sunday of the month in the evening. Well, we started redoing this festival back in 2020, and our first February in 2021 turned out to be Super Bowl Sunday. So we decided, let's move it to the afternoon. And then we decided the next year, well, even though there wasn't a Super Bowl, let's keep it that way. So now this has sort of become a tradition. So hopefully every February we'll be here for you in the afternoon, and we'll see what happens. Well, we've got quite a show for you today. Sonny and I are going to be introducing some wonderful artists. Steve Erikkson, John Forster, the Mad Agnes Trio, Bob Bossin, Josh White Jr., John Flynn, Lea Morris, Guy Davis, Walter Parks, and Vance Gilbert. It is going to be spectacular, so sit down and relax and enjoy. Now, before we start with our first guest, I do want to remind everybody, this is a free festival. Those of you watching either on YouTube or Facebook or listening on Folk Music Notebook, it is free, but we could use your help. There is a tip jar for the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. And if you look in the chat feature, either on Facebook or on YouTube, you'll see some links so that you can make a little donation if you're able to. It all goes to help the performers and to keep this event going each month. We started this in the summer of 2020, and we have plans to keep going. The audience has been building, and it's been a really wonderful way to get our folk community together at least once a month. So anyway, check out that donation link if you can help us out. It is greatly appreciated, and it goes a long way to supporting this community. By the way, it is a 501c3. The Greenwich Village Folk Festival started back in 1987, ran in-person events through 94, took a hiatus, and then it's been back since 2020, and we hope to be here for many, many more months to come. All right, let's get to the music. Now, our first artist came to the U.S. way back in 1984. He joined the crew of the Clearwater, sailing up and down the Hudson, sharing his skills in music. And Steve also became friends with Rod MacDonald and was recruited for Rod's touring band. And also, he performed on 2 of Rod's CDs and participated in some of Rod's European tours. Steve eventually moved back to Sweden, where he continues to make music and dazzle audiences with his brilliant guitar work and producing songs that have been recorded by a number of mainstream Swedish artists. In 2019, he released his first CD, Right Before Our Eyes. That's the name of the CD. And he received significant airplay on folk radio here in the United States. And last year, his latest CD, Last Call, was released. Now, while he may live in Sweden these days, he was in Kansas City last week attending the Folk Alliance International Conference as part of the Nordic Folk Alliance. And that featured a number of Scandinavian artists showcasing their talents. We're happy he could be with us today to kick off this month's edition of the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. Please welcome Steve Erikkson.
Hi, you know, I'm here in Kansas City. We've been here for almost a week. Folk Alliance, the Swedish Folk Nordic Alliance. We've been having, and now I'm going to do a couple of songs for you. The first I'm going to do is called Late at Night. Well, I don't know what's going on late at night at my neighbor's house. Is he making love or killing the cat? Can anybody tell me what is that? For months now it has been going on. He must have been born as Casanova's son. Well, I don't know what's going on late at night at my neighbor's house. My wife told me last week, oh honey, you've always been sweet, but I wish you could be a little bit more like the guy who's living next door. Go! can it be true, the thing to do? But his wife seems so happy when she says hello. Well, I don't know what's going on late at night at my neighbor's house. Well, you know, I must have been blind, but honey, I can't read your mind. I always try to do the best I can, but honey, I'm just a man. Then I met my neighbor on the street. He said, I'm gonna tell you a secret right here at your feet. Treat your woman right, and she will love you for the rest of your life. Late at Night, that's the name of that song. Pretty funny, I think. When I was living in New York, thank you very much. When I was living in New York, in Sweden, I usually go take the car to places. But when you're living in New York, you have the subway, you take the train, you take the bus. And here's a little story what could happen in New York. It's when smoke gets in your eyes. I met her at the bus stop. She sat next to me. She smoked on a cigarette, and the smoke turned to me. Well, pardon me, do you really have to smoke? Aren't you afraid of dying, or even have a stroke? Well, she looked pretty good when she turned to me. She had the bluest eyes a man ever had seen. She said, hey, I got a question. What kind of man are you? For you, pretty baby, I'll be the one you want me to. When smoke gets in your eyes, when smoke gets in your eyes, when smoke gets in your eyes, when smoke gets in your eyes. That's how you meet your wife. She said she was from Texas. Well, I'm from Tennessee, and just for a moment, she was looking there at me. I had to know her name. I can't let this woman go. Though I was in a rush, trying to catch a bus. When smoke gets in your eyes, 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 when smoke gets in your eyes. That's how you meet your wife. I met her at the bus stop. She sat next to me. She smoked on a cigarette, and the smoke turned to me. I said, pardon me, do you really have to smoke? Aren't you afraid of dying, or even have a stroke? When smoke gets in your eyes, 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 that's how you meet your wife. That's how you meet your wife. That's how you meet your wife. When smoke gets in your eyes. That's what could happen. Thank you very much. The last song I'm going to sing for you is called It Would Have Been You. I've been writing this with a poet woman from Pennsylvania, Pottstown, Pennsylvania. She's a little older now, but she's very good poet writer, and we actually got in contact over the internet for many years ago, and maybe we have 80 or songs, something like that now. And I would like to thank for having me from a hotel room in Kansas City. When I I'm down here. We're going straight to the airport, back to Sweden. Okay, thank you very much for having me. It would have been you. If I could have chosen the one who to be, my sister, my friend, and a soulmate to me. If I could have picked just one rose from the vine, a flower of beauty that I could call mine, it would have been you. It would have been you. If I had the seed in the cause of a prayer, a voice to give comfort and laughter to share, well, it would have been you in the garden of choice that I would have gathered in welcoming arms. It would have been you. It would have been you. Well, it would have been you among millions of stars that love was tonight beyond Venus and Mars. Oh, if I could have chosen right out from the blue, it would have been magic. It would have been you. I thank God each day for the sister He chose, the soul of an angel in wraps of a rose, the calm of the water in wakes of the sea, the soul of an angel rolling the breeze. It would have been you. It would have been you. If I could have chosen the one who to be, my sister, my friend, and a soulmate to me. Oh, if I could pick just one rose from the vine, a flower of beauty that I could call mine, it would have been you. It would have been you. Thank you very much for having me. Real fun. Thanks.
That was Steve Erikkson. Safe trip back to Sweden, Steve.
Yeah, thank you.
Glad you came for a visit here.
Yeah, I loved it.
Good, good. All righty, moving on. You know, back in the day, we had our really special people who kept us laughing all the time. People like Tom Lehrer and Shel Silverstein. Well, somebody had to take over, and sure enough, there was this guy named John Forster who showed up, and he wowed the population with his CD, Entering Marion. I think that's what he's best known for. And he's a cabaret musician, a satirist, a songwriter, a composer, a lyricist, and a record producer. This guy never sleeps. He's always busy. And then in his spare time, he records with other people like Tom Chapin. And recently, a couple of years ago, I guess, they put out a wonderful CD called Broadside, which is political humor, which is what I love the best. And I just can't wait to hear what he comes up with today. The one, the only, John Forster.
Thanks, Sonny. I am thrilled to be back again. I want to do some recent songs for you today. And the first one is actually a song I wrote a few months ago I wrote it for a concert that was to celebrate the fact that the world is coming out of lockdown. And it is a song about Zoom. It's a clear-eyed assessment, really, of the advantages, and let's face it, some of the drawbacks of our favorite platform. I got to tell you, the song was meant to be sung live and not on Zoom, but when Rod called, I thought, well, it might be very meta to do a song about Zoom on Zoom. The only thing is, I have to warn you, it's a sing-along. So probably some of you were saying that sounds like trouble right there. Have a little faith, and when it's time, when I invite you to sing along, everybody just unmute yourselves if you have the ability to, and then when I say mute yourselves again. Okay, let's try this. This is going to be an experiment. Lockdown felt like being sealed in a tomb. We would have gone crazy if it weren't for Zoom. Zoom was warmth, Zoom was contact, Zoom was our safety net. Zoom was perfect until you attempted to sing a duet. Don't try to sing along on Zoom. Don't try to sing with anyone not there in the room. The simplest little ballad turns to note and rhythm salad. So don't try to sing along on Zoom. Don't try to sing along on Zoom. Don't try to sing along. Music is like Prozac when there's global gloom. But certain kinds of music should be banned from Zoom. Barbershop turns into slop, and doo-wop sounds so odd. Hymns are hell, rounds as well, so please, for the love of God, don't try to sing along on Zoom. Ooh, Zoom is that cyber hole where music meets its doom, 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 doom. Frere Jacques jumps the rails, even happy birthday fails, so don't try to sing along on everybody. Don't try to sing along on Zoom. That's pretty terrible. Don't try. Oh, that's really bad. Don't try to sing along on. Everybody put yourselves on mute. As Delta wanes and Omicron fades and the sun comes out, what's the thing we love the most? The thing we're ecstatic about? We don't have to sing along on Zoom. Now the entire choir's right there in the room. Concert halls, live applause. We rejoice again because we don't have to sing along on three-part harmony. We don't have to sing along on 10-part harmony. We don't have to sing along 1,000-part harmony. We don't have to sing along on Zoom. My wireless mic just dropped. Okay, gang. Let me just put this on my belt again. This is Zoom for you. Okay, so I write a lot of songs by myself, but I also love to collaborate. And as Sonny mentioned, a long and fruitful collaboration for me has been with my good friend Tom Chapin. We started doing writing and producing children's albums a long time ago. We've probably done over a dozen of them. And then we edged over into doing satirical songs for NPR's Morning Edition. And then just in the sort of normal ebb and flow of life, we hadn't written together for about 10 years when I saw him backstage at an event. And we got to talking, and he said he had a song that was giving him trouble, and would I like to sit down with him and take a look at it? And I said, sure. So we looked at it, and we abandoned it, and wrote something completely different. And this was a song, which I'll do for you now, it's just finished. It's barely finished. I would say it's not even set in stone yet. So if you have any comments, feel free. But this is a song that's unlike anything that we've ever done together. And really, it's not something that probably either one of us would have written by ourselves. And that, for me, is the beauty of collaboration. So here it is. Singing is my joy. Music is my church. And every song I sing is a hymn. Hit, a sing-along, a lullaby, a Beatles song. This is the hymn book in my head. I pick a hymn, shadoo-ran-ran, and when I'm scared to carry on, I belt it out to drive away the dread. These are my hymns, fa-la-la-la-la, hymns, sha-na-na-na-na. I sing 'em when I'm happy, I sing 'em when I'm blue. Relaxing in my living room, or staring down the face of doom. Wap-ba-ba-loo-ba-ba-la-bam-boom. These are my hymns. Silent night, stormy weather, in my life come together. I know I'm of a certain age, and though your book may not have this page, these are the hymns I carry in my heart. Summertime, my funny Valentine, I'll sing lead and you won't need a chart to sing these hymns. Fa-la-la-la-la, hymns, sha-na-na-na-na. I sing 'em when I'm happy, happy, sing 'em when I'm blue. Just messing around my living room, staring down the face of doom. Cows in the cows in the thunder and a silver spoon. These are my hymns. La la la, da 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 da, la la la. La 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 la, E-I-E-I-O. Hallelujah, fa la 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 la. Hallelujah, sha na 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 na. We sing 'em when we celebrate, we sing 'em when we grieve. Songs you know that ring so true, they touch the deepest part of you. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. This land is your land, like a rolling stone. Where have all the flowers gone? Deep in my heart, I do believe. Wap-ba-ba-loo-ba-ba-la-bam-boom. These are my hymns. These are my hymns. My hymns. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna end with another recent song. Gloria Felt she's an activist, feminist author. She was president of Planned Parenthood for years, and she's a leader in the fight for women's parity in leadership roles. And she is really something. I was at a book event for a friend, and Gloria spoke. And she spoke a sentence that made my songwriter radar go, go-yo-yo-yo-yoing. And I went up to her afterwards and I said, you said something that sounds like a song to me. What do you think? And she said, go for it. So I went for it. And I wrote this song based on this wonderful sentence that she said. And then I sent it to her just recently, and she wrote back and said, I love it. I need 9 more songs, 1 for each of my leadership tools. So Gloria, this song is for you, and the other 9 songs are under construction. I just want to say it's really been fun doing the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. It's what the reboot is so terrific. I hope it lasts forever. It's just really great. And I also should mention, if you're in the New York City area, I'm going to be doing my cabaret show for 3 nights in April. So just to let you know if you want more of this. Okay, this is Song for Gloria. A soup can start from just a stone and turn into a feast full-blown. By alchemy as yet unknown, the more there is, the more there is. And the math that makes a family, where 1 + 1 turns into 3. Well, that's the same great mystery. The more there is, the more there is. Where does the magic come from that makes the whole more than the parts? Could it be love that cultivates the fallow fields in all our hearts? When ours replaces theirs and mine, arithmetic becomes divine, and water changes into wine. We don't know why the blessings flow. We only know the more we share, the more is there, the more there is. And the more there is, the more there is. We don't know why, we only know the more we share, the more there is. Thank you.
Thank you, John. What a beautiful song. And what great songs. You always cheer us up, and it's always a treat to have you here. And I hope folks will check out your cabaret show in April. John Forster. Oh, wow. Well, we're going to continue on now. I am so thrilled with this next group. A couple of years ago, I learned that they had returned from a too long of a hiatus. They are just an amazing group to have signature harmonies, compelling songwriting, and a stage presence that really envelops an audience, creating a standout experience for all. And I love the fact that you can't limit this trio to a specific genre or style. They blend Celtic, folk, vocal improv, and more into their unique arrangements. Now, they've got 13 albums to their credit, as well as a concert DVD, and I understand they're working on songs for a new album as well. It's always a pleasure to introduce them. Margot Hennebach, Adrienne Jones, and Mark Saunders. Mad Agnes.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
It's great to see you. And John, it's always great to hear you and laugh a little bit. I hope you heard us singing along with you. You know, we brought some of that 3-part harmony. I'm sure you appreciated it. So, yeah, we're going to be doing at least a couple songs from the new album. And this one was inspired by something that I heard Paul Simon said. He said there's no such thing as writer's block. There's just this place called in between. So that kind of got stuck in my craw. Here we go. And then it comes to this, your chin is on the floor. You thought you were inspired, but you can't think anymore. Now you're almost empty, you've been at it way too long. shouldn't it be easier to write a simple song? It don't have to be pretty to be true. I just pump those lungs, get out the junk, let everything come through. Sing like no one's there and offer up a prayer. This is your routine, you're just in between. When you were just a girl with a channel crystal clear, ideas would want to play with you and open up your ears. But even then you'd question the direction of the flow. You were scared of what was there because you didn't know. It don't have to be pretty to be true. I just pump those lungs, get out the junk. You don't have to know what to do. Sing like no one's there and offer up a prayer. This year you were just 13, you were in between. You're not stuck, you're just walking around the block. So go back in and meet yourself again. It always comes to this. Your chin is on the floor, but this time you are ready, 'cause you've been here before. Just open up your eyes and make your belly round. Life is here to move you. Rise up and make a sound. It don't have to be pretty to be true. Just pump those lungs, get out the junk. It's really not about you. Sing like no one's there and offer up a prayer. You don't have to preen, just turn off every screen and let yourself be seen. You're just in between, betwixt and between.
Thank you. It's so great to be here again at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. Ron, I noticed you have stolen a microphone of mine. Oh, no. It's a great mic, isn't it, Ron? We love it. We'll talk about it later afterwards. Anyway, I've heard Patty Larkin is one of my favorites from Angels Running. I just love that album, and so I'd like to dedicate this to Patty and to patience and hope. Can't blame it on the moon no more. Can't blame it on the radar weather. Can't blame it on my lucky stars or my mother or my father. Now I'm holed up in the bell tower, looking for 4 walls to bounce off. Looking for a donkey I could maybe pin a tail on. Well, I've taken to staying up late, I've taken up bowling, I take a couple aspirin and I call my lover in the morning. Now I've taken to talking to myself and I don't even get it. I gotta get out of my head, it'll drive me crazy if I let it. Who holds your hand when you're alone? Who holds your hand when you're alone? So I put a cup of tea on and I look at Rand McNally and I put a couple shoes on and I hurry down the alley. Now I'm driving down the highway trying to get the lead out, rolling down my window and I'm sticking my neck out. Who holds your hand when you're alone? Who holds your hand when you're alone? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Well, now, some people believe in Jesus, and I guess that works real good. Some people believe in God, like they believe in knocking on wood. Religion is a picture window. Life is not a pretty picture. It rattles when the wind blows, and we never knew what hit us. Who holds your hand when you're alone? 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 Who holds your hand when you're alone?
All right.
So this is another new song that's going to be on the CD. Sorry, this is a dangerous instrument. We used to have a very big setup. Now we have a very small setup, and our instruments are getting smaller as well. But
Okay, I'm ready.
okay, this is Chickadee, and this is the first song that she gave me. I was thinking about the moon one night and wondering, how can you have a relationship with something you can mostly only see in the dark? And this is what she said. It's called Marry the Moon. Mistress Moon, oh, what dreams have you for me tonight? Sailing in your halo bright, giving that glow to the night. Are you blue to think that we would never say I do? But how would we get along, we two, meeting alone in the night? We create a world that doesn't let the world in, shimmery and dark and blue. And when we fly apart, the stars will spin. Are you the king or the sun? But all I'll see is you. I know love, how we think that it will always be enough to see us through when times get rough, letting us know it's alright. helping us glow in the night. It may be love that makes the world so clear, shimmery and bright and new. The night returns like it was always here. Are you wishing on a star and missing what is true? Oh, I won't rue the song that once I really thought I knew. But if she's going to change her tune, might as well marry the moon. Might as well marry the moon.
Agnes, Mark and Margot and Adrian. Gosh, it's been years since I saw you guys. You look wonderful. You still sound.
And so do you, by the way. I saw you and I went, I haven't seen you in such a long time, and I thought, oh my God, I just saw her looking like this yesterday. It's amazing.
You have a wonderful imagination, Mark. Flattery will get you anywhere.
Oh, good. We'll be over.
I hope so. Maybe it's time to do another concert here. Anyhow, moving on, I am just so impressed with the guys who booked this Greenwich Village Folk Festival, Ray Mysick and Rod McDonald. I don't know who came up with the name Bob Bossin. I don't know how you remembered him, but I've known of Bob. Hey, I've known of Bob for years and years and years. My daughter Robin used to visit him on Gabrielle Island off the coast of Vancouver, and they were good friends. And I told Robin that Bob was going to be on this show, and she got so excited. And she said, you know, he's known as a Canadian treasure. Way back in the day, he had a group called String Band with Marie Lynn Hammond. She said, but the most important thing about Bob Bossin, he is an environmentalist, what she called him, an environment activist. And he works so hard to help save the environment. And in this day and age, we have to congratulate him for that, as well as for his wonderful music. So please give a wonderful round of applause for a wonderful person, not just musically, but in the way he lives his life. Here he is, Bob Bossin.
Shucks. I'm not tired of the wind. I'm not weary of the sea. But I bet they've had a belly full of an old schooner man like me. So I'm going ashore, and she's bound for better days. But I'll see her topsail flying when she comes down off the waves. So, Rosie, get my Sunday shoes. Gertie, get my walking cane. We'll go down to the docks to see the Alice sail again. If I had $1 for all the men I used to know who could load a cord of wood aboard in a half hour or so, who could raise a sail by hauling, not just donkeying it around, I'd be the richest old salty dog this side of Edgartown. So, Rosie, get my Sunday shoes. Gertie and my walking cane. We'll go down to the docks to see the Alice sail again. Any fool can work an engine. It takes brains to work a sail. And I've never seen a steamer get much good out of a gale. You can empty out your pockets for all the diesel that it gets. But for me, the wind is free and it hasn't run out yet. So Rosie, get my Sunday shoes. Gertie, get my walking cane. We'll go down to the docks to see the Alice sail again. Oh, Rosie, get my Sunday shoes. Gertie, and my walking cane. We'll go down to the docks to see the Alice sail again. That's thank you. That's Larry Kaplan. Larry Kaplan wrote that song back in the 70s about Zeb Tilton, who was, I guess, the last of the old-time schooner sailors. They run on the schooner cargo up and down the East Coast. He died in 1952, was born in 1867. Anyway, that's Larry's song. I've messed with it a bit. I hope he doesn't mind if he hears it. This is an old, well, this song is, I wrote this 22 years ago, and it remains one of my favorites of mine. Rose and me, the very last night, skin aglow in the light of the Wells Hotel's neon sign. But that was years ago. We must have made love every way we could. I swore I loved her and I always would. She kissed me hard and without a word, got up and got dressed to go. God loves a curveball, he loves a detour just around the bend. Ice on asphalt coming up and you don't know when. I first saw Rose by the northern lights. They emptied the bar, they were so bright. But all I saw was Rose's face lit up like Helen of Troy. And I said, buy you a drink? She said, all right. I was married to Lou, but not that night, or the next, or the next, or the next, or the next night. Rosie was my bride. God loves a curveball, he loves a detour just around the bend. Black ice on asphalt coming up and you don't know when. I headed south when the job was through. Told Lou everything, what else could I do? And she said, I love you, but I can't stand to look at you. Then and she turned away. And I said, babe, and she said, don't start. But we kept on talking, sleeping apart, till one morning she took me in her arms, then 9 months to the day. God loves a curveball, He loves a detour. Just around the bend, there's a windfall coming up, and you never know when. Now Lucy's a beauty, just like Lou. She landed, I landed on my feet like I always do. And where Rosie got to, I haven't a clue, but I'd love to know. And I sing these songs and I raise my kid, and I don't regret anything I did. Lose a jewel, she really is. I'm a lucky so-and-so. There was a curve from the nape of her neck down her shoulder to the tip of her breast, and if I close my eyes I'd trace it yet in the neon glow. We lost Pete Sutherland in December. Some people will have known Pete and his music, and I certainly did. I was a fan and became a friend over the years, even though he lived in Vermont. Now I live out here on the west coast on Gabriola Island, so we didn't see a lot of each other, but we stayed in touch. Great musician. They say, some people say he taught half of Vermont to play the fiddle, and there's some exaggeration in that, but not too much anyway. I will surely miss him, and this is a very old song of Pete's from his first album. I'll do that again. One day in a bookstore I happened to look, and I found a name written in an old songbook. A ballad that she'd given them was printed on the page, just the way your mother sang it in her old age. So I asked my daddy, did you know your Aunt Sue? Did she sing the Gypsy Davy or Two Sisters for You? With your milk and your cookies, did she serve you up a song? Oh, Dad, do you remember, though it's been so long? And I know more tunes than the man in the moon. Each flying phrase is a sweet living thing. But I lay down this fiddle, just once could I hear my Dad's and Susan sing. Well, my daddy kinda chuckled and nodded his head. Your great Aunt Sue was quite a character, he said. She could tan the living hair off a young boy's hide. She could tell us kids a story, make us laugh till we cried. But songs I don't remember, couldn't tell you what kind. She must have known some hymns, but I wouldn't have paid no mind. Them old folks were always singing some old parlor song. More than that I couldn't tell you, it's been so long. And I know more tunes than the man in the moon. Each flying phrase is a sweet living thing. But I lay down this fiddle, just once could I hear my dad's Aunt Susan sing. The songs were passed along from mother down to child. Each family sang them in their very own style. But the records and the radio grew louder every day, till no one cared to sing them and they faded away. So I had to learn Aunt Susan's song from that old book I bought. I could sing it for you now, right or wrong, it's all I've got. For the voice that might have taught me has been stilled 40 years. I just strain to hear an echo that will never reach my ears. And I know more tunes than the man in the moon. Each flying phrase is a sweet living thing. But I lay down this fiddle, just once could I hear my dad's Aunt Susan sing. I know more tunes than the man in the moon. Each flying phrase is a sweet living thing. But I lay down this fiddle, just once could I hear my dad's Aunt Susan sing. Pete Sutherland, bless him.
Thank you, Bossin. I know he was a really nice guy. And we're going to miss him. Got a lot of them that we're going to miss now, right? They're leaving like crazy, so cherish the ones you have. And listen to their music, and go find string band music so you can listen to Bob Bossin and Maria. Yeah. Okay. Well, our next guest is somebody who was very special to me. We met at the founding meeting of the Southwest Regional Folk Alliance in Kerrville, Texas, in September of 2001. And we ended up spending a lot of time talking to each other and got to know each other. We actually flew back together on an airplane, September 9th, 2001. Think about that. It's scary when you think back. But anyhow, that's when we met. And he turns out to be one of the special people on this planet. Not only is he a great singer-songwriter, not only does he have a beautiful family, but he goes out of his way to do special things for other people. We gave him the Phil Oakes Award a few years ago for his work with prisoners in a correctional facility in Wilmington, Delaware. He started a group of men in prison, just getting them to talk, and so that they felt safe with each other, and it became very, very effective, to the point that the recidivism rate of the prison was over 70%, and the recidivism rate of his groups was about 20-something%. So he's really making a difference. And then he got a phone call from one of his prisoners who had gotten out and said, "John, I need your help now more than ever. I'm scared. I'm out here on the street. Can you help me?" Well, he started his group in the prison was called New Beginnings. And now he started something called New Beginnings Next Step, which deals with people who have gotten out and tries to help them find their way back into society. Anyhow, he's just gone out of his way, not to mention the great, beautiful songs he writes. I love this man. Please welcome John Flynn.
Hey, everybody. Thank you, Sonny. Am I muted? No, I think I'm not muted. I think I got one of those phone calls when I was sitting at your kitchen table, Sonny. That was one of the first times.
Yes, I remember that.
Anyway, it's great to be here. Oh, 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 from some place inside of me, like something in a dream. The question keeps arising and it makes me want to scream. Can we turn our backs again upon these anguished cries? Can we keep denying what we see with our own eyes? How many bodies? How many lives left in tatters? How many more black lives will it take before Black Lives Matter? Oh, ignorance breeds fear, my friend, and fear will lead to hate. Worse than all of this is our indifference to the weight of this obscene and endlessly repeating deja vu. I'm outside in the street tonight and I am asking you, how many bodies, how many lives left in tatters, how many more black lives will it take before Black Lives Matter? Oh, well, you raise your eyebrows and you close your pink eyelids. You say all lives matter, I cry, God, I wish they did. Say that calling this racism is offending you. Well, I got a hunch that being killed offends black people too. The fact the label seems to bother you more than the crime might be worth pondering, but answer me in this meantime. How many bodies, how many lives left in tatters, how many more black lives will it take before Black Lives Matter? How many daughters, mothers and sons and fathers, how many more black lives will it take before Black Lives Matter? How many bodies, how many lives left in tatters, how many more black lives will it take before Black Lives Matter? I wanted to do this one for Sonny. It's a song that was inspired by a photograph I saw of a bowl that had been broken and put back together using an ancient technique called kintsugi. And kintsugi uses precious metal, gold dust or silver dust in the lacquer that they use to bind the broken pieces together again. So rather than give in to the instinct to camouflage the brokenness, kintsugi actually celebrates the brokenness, and the vessel becomes, it transcends its original form. It becomes something unique and exquisite. And I see this as such a powerful metaphor for the human heart and spirit, and I come in contact with it all the time in my work with incarcerated and returning citizens, with guys in recovery, because they're willing to share from their brokenness in order to help someone else off their knees. And I encountered this again recently in a profound way in Delaware, it's long been the policy that that somebody who has served time cannot go back into the prison. And it took me years to get them to reconsider this idea. I had discussions with the Commissioner of Corrections and the Bureau of the Chief of the Bureau of Prisons, and I said, look, the guy that's running the AA meeting has never been to a liquor store. We can do better than this. You know, can we get some of my guys to go back inside? And my hope is that someday these groups will happen without me and some of my friends who are volunteers in New Beginnings Next Step. So anyway, they decided they would allow this, and a friend of mine named Ty, who's been out of prison about 3.5 years, he's just done so great. He's just overcome so many obstacles, and he's got such great heart and such a beautiful spirit. And I asked Ty if he would go be the first guy to go back inside with me on a weekly basis as a volunteer for my New Beginnings group in the Howard R. Young Correctional Institution. And Ty said, hell no. Ty had done 14 years in prison, and he said, I will never go back in that place. All I want to do is forget that place, you know. And of course I understood and respected his decision. And about 3 weeks passed, and the phone rang, and it was Ty. And he said, yes. And we just got him cleared. He filed his security clearance application. And next week, Ty will go in to the prison with me and draw from a very painful place, but he will be so important to so many guys that he's going to be working with. And anyway, I think that's what this song's about. An art born in Japan around the 15th century uses gold and silver to mend broken pottery, rebinding the shattered pieces so exquisitely. Kintsugi, kintsugi. The tea bowl of a shogun had been broken, and he frowned on ugly metal staples with which his artisans bound the pieces back together, so a bold new way was found. Kintsugi, kintsugi. You are beautiful because your heart has broken, because you have the wisdom and that courage and the grace to be beautiful. Just let your heart be open, smile for me and let me kiss the tears upon your face. Like flashing streaks of lightning in a dark and stormy sky, like brilliant streams of lava on a midnight mountainside. The seams that prove our wounds, now we no longer choose to hide. Kintsugi, kintsugi. You are beautiful because your heart is broken, because you have the wisdom and that kindness and the grace to be beautiful. Let your heart be open, smile for me and let me kiss the tears upon your face. Let me see the places where they hurt you, deep and in the marrow of your bones. Touch my scars and know I won't desert you. You're my friend and you are not alone. So fear no lasting damage, fear no violence or decay. From the potter's wheel, love's fingerprints are on this clay. That through our perfect brokenness, we each can find the way. Kintsugi, 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 Kintsugi. Thank you. I am what I ain't, never gonna be anything but. If I didn't do what I did, I'd do I don't know what. I can't regret things I can't rearrange. I'm too young to quit and I'm too old to change what I do for love, and so call me a saint or a slut. I am what I ain't, never gonna be anything but. I am what I ain't, never gonna be anything but. Done trying to stick out my chest or suck in my gut. I seen parts of heaven and pieces of hell. I got my guitar and my stories to tell. So I guess when it gets right down to the meat of the nut, I am what I ain't, never gonna be anything but. I got my children, and I got my friends, I got my songs, and a beautiful woman I love so. So if no pot of gold waits at this rainbow's end, I'll still be the richest man I know. I am what I ain't, never gonna be anything but. Too proud to crawl and a little too humble to strut. And I ain't just saying these things to keep you from searching for crimes at the scene of the clue, or try to convince you a hard case is open and shut. I am what I ain't, never gonna be anything but. I got my children, yes, and I got my friends, got my songs, and a beautiful woman I love so. So if no pot of gold waits at this rainbow's end, I'll still be the richest man I know. I am what I ain't, never gonna be anything but. 'Cause I wouldn't trade a stone groove for a solid gold rut. I started out as just one of the boys. They broke up the band, but I kept making noise, despite their advice about getting a job and haircut. I am what I ain't, never gonna be anything but. I Don't give a damn if I live in a mansion or hut. My wife hates that line. I am what I ain't, never gonna be anything but. Thanks, everybody.
Great song. Great song.
John, we're glad you are who you are. Just stay the way you are, man. Oh, and listen, I hope everybody out there watching, you'll check out John's website, johnflynn.net, but also check out, let me make sure I have it spelled right. It's newbeginnings-nextstep.org. There's some amazing videos on there, and you can find out more about the work John is doing and how you can help. And it's an amazing job that John's doing. And, of course, amazing music, as you just heard. Well, speaking of things you can do to help, first of all, we're all glad you're watching today. We hope you're enjoying the show. And remember, we do have a tip jar. So if you'd like to help out and you'd like to see these keep happening every month, normally we're on the first Sunday in the evening. This month, of course, we are in the afternoon. But normally it's every first Sunday from 7 to about 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can help out by donating to one of the links that you'll see listed in your Facebook and YouTube page, or just go to GreenwichVillageFolkFestival.org, and you'll find out how you can donate there as well. Excuse me. And also, when you go to that webpage, GreenwichVillageFolkFestival.org, you'll find archives for all of these wonderful monthly shows that we've been doing. Well, we're getting ready for our next performer, and I know he's been running a little bit late, and we're doing a little sound check as we're throwing the intro. Josh, can you hear me? No, not yet. So I'm gonna. Well, you know what I could do? I could just read your list of credits for the next half hour.
All right, here we are. Can you hear us?
You're there.
Awesome.
Oh, that's great. Well, I got to tell you, Josh, I still marvel at the fact that you've been performing since 1944, when you were a child, performing with your dad. And you joined him on stage, and then in 1949, you got a Tony Award for your Broadway debut, and since then you've recorded...
Broadway debut was 49. I started singing with him in 1943.
Wow.
I think the first radio show I did with him was 1943, 44.
Oh, that's amazing. And you're still going strong. And I'll tell you, you were busy last week. You were in Kansas City at the Folk Alliance accepting an award that was bestowed on your father.
Yes.
That was a nice honor.
It felt so good, and it's funny. When things like that are given with my dad, the appreciation, the first person I think about is my mother. And how proud she would have been.
Yeah.
Always thinking.
Well, we're all happy for you and your family, and I see the picture of the stamp behind you, and the fact that you've carried on his traditions for all these years. I remember the first time I saw you was at the Bitter End back in the 70s. You and Tom Paxton were doing a show together, and since then you still sound just as wonderful as you did that day, and we're so happy you could be with us today.
I'm so grateful. Thank you. Yeah, I tell you, it's really enjoyable when you enjoy what you do.
Well,
not
we're
because
going
you have to do it.
That's
because
true.
you love to do it.
Well, we love what you do, and we're going to enjoy what you're about to give us. So, everybody, please give a warm welcome to Josh White Jr.
When I was a kid, I thought there was a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow in the sky. That all you do for a dream to come true was make a wish and close your eyes. I can see time has way of bringing the world into view, but it's childlike eyes and rainbow skies that put me in touch with truth. For fish cannot swim out of the water, and a bird can't fly without wings. You can't see the bottom of the ocean. You can't
I'll see is one I can reach, and the rainbow reveals the stars. For fish cannot swim out of the water, and a bird, it can't fly without wings. You can't see the bottom of the ocean. You can't possibly know everything. The fish cannot swim out of the water, and the bird, it can't fly without wings. You can't see the bottom of the ocean. You can't possibly know everything. If I can stay out of the way, try not to soar too far. The bottom I'll see is one I can reach, and the rainbow reveals the stars. For fish cannot swim out of the water, and the bird, it can't fly without wings. You can't see the bottom of the ocean. You can't possibly know everything. Once I lived a life, a millionaire, spending my money and I didn't care, taking my friends out for a mighty good time. I was buying bootleg liquor, champagne and wine, but then I began to fall so low. Didn't have a friend, had no place to go. If I ever get my hands on a dollar again, I'm gonna hold on to it till the eagle grins. Oh no, nobody wants you. When you're down and out, in your pocket, not one penny, and your friends, you haven't any. But as soon as you get up on your feet again, everybody wants to be your long lost friend. Mighty strange, without a doubt. Nobody wants you when you're down and out. All right, right. Any, but as soon you get up on your feet again, everybody wants to be your long lost friend. My strange, without a doubt, no gal can use in this world who just can't cope. What we need is peace and understanding and time to let it grow. For us to stand equally together, not just one to rule the show. So don't let your ego keep your guard up and shadow was real. Oh, we've got to keep it real for us to grow. So think about joy, let's think about love. Think about the world that I'm desperately ashamed of. Take a look at me, come on and grab my hand. Let's show the world just how tall we can stand. And we all can walk the streets together the way it was meant to be. To always be aware of the ones around you and to help with what they need. Do all these things that I just mentioned and do it with a smile. Cause we've got to keep a smile for us to grow. So if you think about me, I'm gonna think about you. Think about all the joyful things we can do. I said think about me, I'm gonna think about you. Think about all the joyful things we can do, y'all. Yeah. One more time.
Thanks, Josh, and congratulations for your family on the award for your father. It was given out at Folk Alliance International. Well, again, everybody at home, I hope you're enjoying it. Again, we apologize for some of the technical problems. This is primarily a live performance, but, you know, gremlins do happen, and we were trying to work out all the bugs. But the next one I can guarantee you is going to be good because it's actually recorded today. Our next artist is on a train somewhere in Germany, even as we speak right now. Her name is Lea Morris, and I first met Lea at one of the Northeast Regional Folk Alliance conferences, and I was immediately drawn into her stunning vocals, as well as songs and performances that showed a sense of hope, empathy, and about finding joy in everyday life and the world around us. Lea grew up in a musical family. Her dad toured the world playing trumpet for a funk band that was known as Black Heat, and her mother dreamed of opera, but she performed with her siblings in the Jones Family Gospel Singers. So it's really no surprise that music became such an important part of Lea's life. She sang in the pulpit of the Baptist church where she grew up. She picked up the guitar as a teenager, spent her final year in high school in Germany at a classical conservatory, where she also sang with the jazz ensemble and co-wrote songs with a British pop trio. And since then, Lea has shared her songs in a variety of venues, art centers, universities, festivals, and places of worship. I also urge you to check out the website of this award-winning artist, thisislea.com. There, you'll not only find her CDs and songs, but also sheet music and songbooks that include arrangements for a cappella choirs. Her music will touch your heart. Please welcome Lea Morris.
Hello, good people of the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. My name is Lea Morris, and it is a pleasure to be with you, transmitting all the way from Germany, very near Hanover. I'm going to sing a few songs today, and I figured since we are here under the banner of the Greenwich Village Festival, I would start with this song. It's the only song of mine that references that part of the world. Brings me a little closer. It's a song I wrote before my daughter was born. She doesn't necessarily believe it, but the song is called Accidental Daughter, which she was not. But yeah, so here goes. There isn't much more to write. How much I miss your kiss goodnight, but I'll be okay. Don't worry none. It'll be a week in a day. I've never been this far away. Now I'm all alone, out here on my own. Now I could spend the night in Greenwich. I stay here a while. I'm in love with these lights. I could stay with Anita. I could sleep on a bench in Central, maybe. I could even stay here thanks to my African mother. Who do you want me to be? A debutante fantasy. I'm funny that way. I can take any name. If you just lie and say love, I'll be just what you're dreaming of. There's never a price. You just have to be nice. And somehow I always manage to reveal the wrong thing. Just one word too many. You look in my eye, my faltering smile. You could still pretend you mean it. I could even believe. Just don't leave. I need you. I need something to replace you, my accidental lover. I could tell you his name, and you can wear it without shame. I was just a kid. I don't regret what I did, and I don't hate anymore. I'm not as hurt as I was before. The harder I try, think I might even get by. Now you say you want to move to Greenwich, to take your guitar and sing for your living. Someone might make you a star. Who knows, maybe you're right. You could stay with Antonita. She's got a place on the water. Please say you'll call her and drop me a line. I know you'll be fine. You can call me anytime, just to see you do it fine. You could stay, but I can't make you my accidental daughter. You could stay, but I can't make you. So as I mentioned, I am currently in Germany, but I am an American born and bred, born in the Washington, D.C. General Hospital back when that was a thing. The hospital has closed, but I'm still here. And, well, here in the flesh on this beautiful planet, but a little ways from home. This song, I tell you, man, I've got something prophetic happening with my songwriting. This song is called the Expatriate Song, and it's spelled X''patriot, as in someone who loves their country, ''S song. And I wrote it before my family became expatriates, spelled the correct way. Not that I would have ever described myself as a patriot per se. I'm certainly not someone who's a nationalist. I'm more of a globalist. You know, I feel myself a citizen of the planet. That being said, I do love the United States, and I know that there's a lot of beautiful, there's a lot of beauty in not just the topography and not just the land itself, but in the people and the intention and the dreams that we're continuing to live towards and continuing to fall short of. And so this song was written before I came to live in Germany, but I was visiting here. And it was at the time when there were riots, well, a march of sorts, in Charlottesville, Virginia, fairly near where I lived at the time. And the folks, you know, the European people I was around, were asking me to speak to or for what was happening on the ground. And I couldn't. You know, first of all, I don't believe it possible to speak for anyone else anyway, but in such a mind-boggling situation when people are standing up for their right to hate, it's just beyond my comprehension. And so I wrote this song, and then I immediately shared it on Facebook, and I got an email from a stranger at the time, a man named Ben Mason, who said, yeah, pretty good song, but, and he actually made a point that wound up rearranging the last two lines of the song. They kind of are the song. They are the sentiment that I wanted to share. So it's all set up for Ben Mason's tweak, expatriate song. Standing on a distant shore, thinking of my home. What did I go wrong for? Just what have I done? I miss America. She's in my heart. I miss America. She feels so far. Oh, but it's a tiny world, and I could catch a plane. Smile down at my favorite girl and shout, I'm back again. Did you miss me, America? Like I missed you. I'm back now, America. Hey, what you been up to? Don't tell me it's that again. Looking back, I get sad again. Have we gone mad again? Things were not better then. There's only us, there is not a them. There's only one way that we can win. God wants to bless this land. When we hate, we forsaken Him. My, it's good to be here now and take a look around. Majesty from in the sky, there's work to do once we hit the ground. But I'm here, America. You are not alone. I love you, America, and love will guide us home. So as I mentioned, that first song was not actually prophetic, but I wrote a song for my daughter, who's now 23, back when she was 8 years old, and we were at a festival, and oh gosh, this must have been 15 years ago. And another child of about the same age came up to me and said, you know, you're not bad. In fact, you're almost as good as Britney Spears. I know how to take a compliment. Girl, the way you walk in, you're about to break your neck or something. No why you got to be so fast. Well, you just be careful, 'cause you know time is a rare jewel. The truth is nothing's meant to last. But that's alright, you're going to find your inspiration. Everybody knows you ain't getting nowhere, unless you got somewhere to go, baby. You are a golden star, and I will be the moon. Keep shining like you are, and everybody's gonna be wishing on you. On you. Girl, when I was younger, I was filled with such a hunger. I knew I would be the best. Life is such a strange thing. You never know just what yours will bring. Don't lose yourself just to be just like the rest. And you'll find out that you're somebody's inspiration. Everybody knows you ain't been nowhere till where you've been makes you grow, baby. You are a golden star, and I will be the moon. Keep shining like you are, and everybody's gonna be wishing on you. Are the very shining light that's bright above my darkest nights. I think it's true that the sun is shining in you. If you could see the same in me, that's maybe all we need to be. All you need to do is you be a golden star, and I'll gladly be the moon. Keep shining like you are, and everybody is gonna be wishing on you. La 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 la. Thank you all so much for having me. My name is Lea Morris, and it has been a pleasure as always. See you soon.
Ah, she was a delight, wasn't she? I hadn't heard her before. I really liked her. Well, now, 50 years ago, I was a teacher in a junior high school, and it came to be my job to program the assemblies for the junior high school. And 50 years ago, almost exactly to the day, I hired this young man. I don't know how I got his name. I don't remember how I found him. But I said, would you please come to our school and sing for the junior high school assembly? And he said yes. So into our school walked Guy Davis. I mean, here we are 50 years later. I'm introducing him again. What a thrill. He is known as an American roots musician now. But what a life he has lived in these 50 years. He's not only a musician, he's an actor. He was on stage with his parents, Ruby Dee and Nasi Davis. He's an author. He's written all kinds of stuff. A songwriter, writes great songs. A script writer for both stage and film, and has traveled all over the place. He's what we know as a true Renaissance man. And on top of all of this, he is one of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. Guy, it's so good to see you again. Please welcome Guy Davis.
Thank you so much, Sonny. Oh, you make me feel good. I didn't realize I was that old, but I guess I am. And thank you for taking care of me 50 years ago and letting me come.
I remember you came into the room. You were a 19-year-old boy. It must have been one of your first gigs.
19 then, huh? Okay, that's true. That's true. Well, I hit 70 this year. And The only advantage I can find in age is that I've been learning to trust my instincts, learning to trust my art, my music, my songs. If it's possible for me to start with a song that I wrote called Got Your Letter in My Pocket. This is from my Be Ready When I Call You CD. Got your letter in my pocket, and your face stays on my mind. Well, I heard that you had a baby, but I didn't know the child was mine. No, I didn't know the child was mine. There've been days when I've gone hungry. There've been nights I've slept out in the pouring rain. There've been times when I spent hiding, scared somebody would call my name. I was scared somebody would call my name. Well, your husband came to see me. I lied right in your husband's face. Well, I told him that I did not love you, and I didn't want to take his place. No, I didn't want to take his place. If you ever go down to High Top, remember me to Annie Gray. She's got a houseboat down on the river. Sometimes she lets me stay. Sometimes she lets me stay. Tell no one that you saw me. Don't tell nobody that I came around. I'll be leaving soon in the morning, and I won't say where I'm bound. No, I won't say where I'm bound. Got your letter in my pocket, and your face stays on my mind. Well, I heard that you had a baby, and I didn't know the child was mine. No, I didn't know the child was mine. Thank you. Good sound of applause. Oh my gosh. I gotta tell you, the internet is a big stranger to me. I might as well be trying to be an astronaut. So, Donnie, that's Josh Jr. is like the name we call him. You know, we'll work it out, man, but live shows where we need to be. In the meantime, this is how we do it. I'm going to pick up this harmonica near me, and I'm going to do a song called I'm Going to Shake It Like Sonny Did. Now, it was, 10, 11, 12 years ago, something like that. I got a job on Broadway in a revival of the musical Finian's Rainbow. And the part I played was the same part played back in 1947 when the original play opened, the original musical. The same part that I got was played by Sonny Terry. I played a harmonica player named Sonny, and I got to play this harp while a beautiful girl danced on the stage. Anyway, this is called I'm Gonna Shake It Like Sonny Did. This would be from my Kokomo Kid CD. I could live in the desert. I could crawl through the sand. I could swim in the ocean or walk on dry land. But when it come to making music, I'm the kid and I'm gonna shake it like Sonny did. Gonna build me a rocket and fly up into space. Have all them aliens looking right down in my face. And when they find that rocket and they pop the lid, I'm gonna jump out shaking like Sonny did. I like to drink bourbon when I sing the blues, but I don't drink government whiskey. I drink that moonshine booze. Police come up, they grab my hand and said, "Boy, you got you a ball and chain." The judge looked at me. He said, "Boy, you doing time." He banged down his hammer and he gave me 99. His wife spoke up, "Don't give him a bit, 'cause that man shaking like Sonny did." my chance to be a little bit goofy. Thank you guys very much. Greenwich Village Folk Festival and I go back a long time. God, 30 odd years or something like that. Anyway, maybe more than that. I don't know. But like Sonny said, I'm old. Well, she said it more nicely than I did. I'm going to put this capo on here and do a third song. This song that I'm getting ready to do with 2 capos. This is a sing-along, but you'll have to do it without me there to coach you. The song is called Early in the Morning. During COVID, I managed to put out 400 broadcasts of a half-hour presentation I called Coffee with Kokomo, every morning, 10 o'clock, except Saturdays. And this is one of the pieces I wrote during that time. It was a very creative time for me. It was either be creative or get COVID. I'm not sure what to tell you about that. But it was time that was important for me to use well. Come look for me early in the morning. This time tomorrow I may be gone. Come look for me early in the morning. This time tomorrow I may be gone. Sing me a song. Sing me a song early in the morning. This time tomorrow I may be gone. Sing me a song, sing me a song early in the morning. This time tomorrow I may be gone. Dry your tears. Where I go, you cannot follow. Wash my face when my journey starts. I can live in the sunshine, I can live in the flowers. Live in your thoughts and live in your heart. Come smile at me. Come smile at me early in the morning. This time tomorrow I may be gone. Come kiss my mouth. Come kiss my mouth early in the morning. This time tomorrow I may be gone. Come hold my hand. Come hold my hand early in the morning. This time tomorrow I may be gone. Come say goodbye. Come say goodbye early in the morning. This time tomorrow I may be gone. Smile at me. Come smile at me
I may be gone. Sing me a song. Sing me a song early in the morning. This time tomorrow I may be gone. Come look for me. Come look for me early in the morning. This time tomorrow I may be gone. Come say goodbye. Come say goodbye. Thank you. Thank you, Sonny, and everybody.
Guy, listen, we don't want to say goodbye. I'm wondering if we could ask you for another song. Would you be willing to give us an encore?
Wow, okay. I didn't know that was allowed. But
well, we're stretching the rules. We can do that. And by the way, I think we should mention, I don't think you've mentioned it, I believe you're doing another play. You're doing the Fishy Waters this coming weekend.
I am going to be doing Fishy Waters in St. Louis. But I got to tell you, there's another play that I'm presented and will continue to work on called Sugar Belly. And the last song you just heard, Early in the Morning, is a part of that play. So let's see, what are we going to do here? Forgive the finger picks. Here's a Muddy Water song. If I was a catfish swimming in the deep blue sea, I'd have all you good-looking women like Sonny fishing after me, fishing after me. Oh Lord, oh wow. Well, I went to my baby's house and I sat down on the step. She said, come on in here, Muddy Waters. My husband just now left. My husband just now left. Oh Lord, sure enough. Well, my mother told my father on the day I was born, said you got a boy child coming, gonna be a rolling stone, sure enough a rolling stone. Oh Lord, sure enough mama. Well, I went to the church house and I sat down. Excuse me, let me try that again. Well, I went to the church house and they called on me to pray. Got down on my knees, couldn't think a word to say. Couldn't think a word to say. Oh Lord, I was, sure enough I was. Well, there's two trains running. Don't know which one go before. Gonna catch the first thing smoking. Like down the road I go. Like down the road I go. Oh Lord, well I
Thank you.
Thank you, Guy. That is terrific. It's so good to see you again. Oh boy, what a day this has been. I hope everybody out there is having as good time as we are. And again, just want to thank everyone who has donated so far to our tip jar. You can find the information by scrolling through the chat feature in Facebook or YouTube or however you're watching this, or just go to GreenwichVillageFolkFestival.org. We are a 501c3 organization, and we do this on the first Sunday of the month, usually in the evening. This February is a little different. We came out early, saw our shadow, so I guess we'll be doing this for 6 more months to come. I don't know, but anyway, more than 6 months. We're not going anywhere, folks, because of all of your help. So if you can put something in the tip jar, it'd be greatly appreciated, and it helps all these performers. It helps keep this event going, and we're grateful. Thank you. Well, I am really excited that Walter Parks could join us again at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. The Florida native is one of the most creative artists on the scene, producing some of the finest arrangements of traditional songs alongside his own roots-influenced originals. Walter has also spent a decade playing guitar with the late Richie Havens, and he was also a member of the duo The Nudes. And since his last appearance here at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, he released a 5-song EP with accordionist Rob Kurtrow called The Swampalachian Trail. Now, whether he's performing with his acclaimed trio Swamp Cabbage, or his Americana spiritual project The Unlawful Assembly, or his recent work as part of the trio Gumbo Grits and Gravy with Bruce Molsky and Guy Davis, who we've just seen, or whether it's a solo performer, Walter always excites and always pushes the boundaries to make each performance an event. Please give a warm welcome to Walter Parks.
How are y'all? Can you hear me? Okay. Just thumbs up or something? Can you hear me? Okay, great. Wonderful. I'm not hearing it back in my phones, but that's all right. Doesn't matter. I'm going to set this one up. First of all, I so much enjoyed seeing Guy again. I played with him in Denmark last summer, and I'm in St. Louis, Missouri today, and he's coming our way, and we're going to do a little collaborating when he's here. But this next tune is, I'm going to do a little 2-song medley. It starts with a holler. I wasn't going to do one of these, but Greg Greenway sort of nudged me in that direction, so why not? This is called the Piney Woods Holler. I took this from some archives that I listened to in the Library of Congress, the American Folklife collection. And I'm going to sing this one today in a very, what I call techno-organic way. It seems that my guitar kind of functions in this song the way the pines do in southeast Georgia. People hollered out in the woods, in the islands, in the swamp, and that's near where I grew up. So that's why I took an interest in folk music from that area. They hollered into the piney woods to let their relatives know they were coming home from a hunt, they were safe, or they needed help, or whatever. And the piney woods would carry the sound much like the walls of a cathedral in Europe or something, reverberate the sound and kind of echo it in a very pleasant way. I heard this on these tapes in the Library of Congress, and it sounded like there was some sort of a reverb effect on it, and I knew good and well that they didn't have effects back then. This is in the early 40s. And so I'm emulating the sound of those pine trees reverberating the hollers by singing it into my guitar. This is just something I happened upon on a gig down in Florida. So check this out. I'll start with this, and then I'm going to go right into a song that Richie Havens used to do. I played with Richie for 10 years. And can y'all believe it? Richie, speaking of 10 years, this is the 10-year anniversary of Richie's passing. He died in 2013. It just seems like it was yesterday. So this is a little tribute to Richie, the second part of this medley. So here we go. This is called The Piney Woods Holler, and followed by one called Follow the Drinking Gourd. E-oh. When the sun goes back and the first quail calls, follow the drinking gourd. There's another shore, follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. There's an old man who's waiting to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. Well, the riverbed makes a mighty fine road. Follow the drinking gourd. Left foot, peg foot, travel it on. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. There's an old man who's waiting to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. Woo. Well, the river is between two hills. Follow the drinking gourd. There's another river on the other side. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. There's an old man who's waiting to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. There's an old man who's waiting to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow, follow, follow the drinking gourd. Follow, follow, follow the drinking gourd. Follow, follow. Follow. Thank you. Follow the drinking gourd. That's an old, it's a spiritual, and to my knowledge, it was called, that type of a song was a code song that foretold of a slave breakaway and that sort of thing. And the concept was, the language was sort of secret in one sense, and the drinking gourd in that, as used in that song, is a metaphor for the Big Dipper. There are some folklorists and historians who believe that that song was set in southeastern Mississippi, southwestern Alabama, and if a slave managed to break free from those plantations down there and those horrific conditions, he or she would find their way to the Tombigbee River. But you'd have to leave just at the right time. And as I sang in the song, I hope I sang this, when the sun goes back and the first quail calls, follow the drinking gourd. In other words, when around the change of the seasons there at the end of December, when you can tell winter's coming on, you better get out of that riverbank and start walking north, because it would take you a whole year to get to the headwaters of the Tombigbee, cross that mountain where the river ended, and you'll find the Tennessee River. You keep going up that till you get to around Paducah, Kentucky, and where the Tennessee joins the Ohio River, and if everything goes according to plans per nature, the Ohio would be frozen over, and you could walk to southern Illinois and ostensibly be free. Of course, they'd come looking for you, but if you got that far, chances are you're going to be okay. And but it's could you imagine? I believe that it's important for me to sing that song, because I'm stressing, sure, it wasn't my history in a sense of my, my lineage is from England and that sort of thing historically, but this is a story that, this is a soundtrack to the American story, and what I stress is just think about the fortitude, the strength, the bravery, and the fear that you had to have to walk mostly at night and walk a whole year up a riverbank. And I've been to the Tombigbee in southwestern Alabama, and it's an eerie sight. The banks are chalk white like the cliffs of Dover, and they're extremely high. It's spooky, and you can just feel the history there. But anyway, I delight in playing these songs because of their import. They're in no means happy songs, but I think it's important to play them. This one goes out to Guy Davis. I love Guy Davis as a human being, and I cherish any opportunity to collaborate with him. We were talking about doing some more shows together. Guy concluded his set with Early in the Morning, or before the encore. And so I'm going to do a version of Early in the Morning as well, not the one that Guy did. This is another song that I took from history. Around the same time that the gentleman was going to the Okefenokee Swamp in southeast Georgia, where I'm very much inspired to pull music from, and that historian's name was Francis Harper. He was from the Philadelphia area. As a matter of fact, this is just a wild thing. Can you imagine? Once again, Francis Harper came from Philadelphia. He was fascinated with the Okefenokee Swamp in southeast Georgia, rented or borrowed recording equipment that was battery powered in the early 1940s, took a train down to Waycross, Georgia, and went out into the swamp, could only record for about 30 minutes, and then he had to go back into Waycross or Folkestone to recharge those batteries. The painstaking aspects of preserving history for us. And around the same time that he was doing that, the Lomaxes were in Mississippi recording, and this is one of their, my next interpretation is because of the fruits of their labor and their efforts. This is again, sadly set song from Parchman Prison in Mississippi. This is a railroad track lining song, and a lot of those folks who were doing this didn't even think of it as music in a certain sense. It was just what they sang to keep themselves hitting that piece of rail in time. We in the modern world think of it as music. And I was written, a gentleman who did one of those hollers in the woods wrote me, and he's passed away now, but when he was 90 years old, he wrote me and said, I don't understand why you're singing these hollers in auditoriums all over the world. This wasn't considered entertainment to us. This was practical communication, much the way we use cell phones today. And I think in a certain way these track lining work songs and chants were the same way. But again, an eerily beautiful song. This is dedicated to Guy Davis, and thank you, Greenwich Village Folk Festival, for inviting me back. And I hope my treatments of some of these folk songs, especially the ones from the area, the neck of the woods that I come from in southeast Georgia, northeast Florida, are something that you take pleasure in. I'm Walter Parks. Thank you.
It's early in the morning, and I ride. Well, you know I have a misery burning in my right side. Well, it's early in the morning, when I ride, Lordy Mama. You know I have a misery burning in my right side. Well, dirty lie, Mama. You should never told her dirty lie, Mama. You should never told her the dirty lie, Mama. The eagle on the dial on the quarter is gonna rise and fly. Well,
You're amazing. You're so great to begin with. You keep getting better. I don't know how much better there is. Thank you so much, Walter. By the way, earlier in the show, I complimented Ray Misek and Rod McDonald for their programming and the fact that they had found Bob Bossin. I was really thrilled about. But we haven't thanked this time our sound guys. They do such a yeoman's job. It's not easy working with all of these musicians who are all over the place. And I'd like to thank Brian Dozer and Greg Greenway for their wonderful, wonderful job that they're doing. Hey! Woo! Woo! Now I get to introduce the final act for the evening. And this is a guy who he hit the music scene sometime in the early 90s, became friends with Elvis Paul, they actually recorded together. And he has a strong voice. He has an amazingly tremendous wit that just never stops. And he writes great songs. And one of the things that he really does well that doesn't get much mention, if you go to any of the music conferences, he does a workshop on performance for artists on how to do a good performance. And his workshop is just amazing because he knows that he has that art of performance down. And his name is Vance Gilbert. And during the pandemic, he started something new. I love this. He does something called the Acoustic Pajama Party. It's online. You can join in. And tomorrow evening will be Acoustic Pajama Party number 145. You don't believe it. And tomorrow's theme is murder and death songs. And he does this show.
It's a cheery show.
It's a cheery show,
it's
sure.
a cheery show.
And he does this show every Monday. So if you love him as much as I do, you really owe it to yourself to go to one of the pajama parties. So without further ado, I'd like to bring you Vance Gilbert.
Thank you very much. I really don't feel like playing after Walter Parks. It's not fair. It's not fair playing after Wade. He's hollering at the guitar and smacking it and what is left to do? What is left to do, Walter? Walter, you've got two gerbils coming out of your chin, and there's nothing left to do, Walter. It's not fair. Woo! Woo! And my guitar says, shut up, just sing, man. How's that sound? It sounded... All right, good. You can live on pie and whiskey, but you surely won't live too long. One is as sweet as your very first kiss, the other gonna go down strong. Neither one will sustain you when the other make your belly lame and go wrong. You can live on pie and whiskey, but you surely won't live too long. You can sing yourself a lullaby like your mama sang to you. Hers was just like a ringing a bell, yours is like a worn-out shoe. She had a voice just like honey, yours just like leather nails and glue. You can sing yourself a lullaby like your mama sang to you. cry, cry, cry like no tomorrow. But yesterday done come and gone. I hijacked the pie and the whiskey, kidnapped your mama's soul. Oh, but worn-out shoes are made for walking. You better get walking, 'cause you ain't gonna be here long. You can cry, cry, cry like no tomorrow. You can sing yourself a lullaby. You can live on pie and whiskey, but you surely won't live too long. Too long. Yeah. That's it. Doggone it. Thank you. Thank you. Let me keep it up for you here. But it's a John Prine song that I wrote. Well, I wrote it as a tribute to John Prine after he died. I was inspired. Pink ripe peaches in a pretty glass bowl. Goldfinch chirping on the telephone pole. Clothesline humming, I can hear it sing when the wind is a-blowing through everything. Last day of winter, first day of spring. Living ain't easy, like a broke kite string. Today wasn't nothing, see what tomorrow brings. Trying to make a life out of simple things. Kitchen table covered with magazines, fresh cup of coffee, franks and beans. Daffodils blooming by the garden stair. I don't remember ever planting them there. Last day of winter, first day of spring. Living ain't easy, like a broke kite string. Today wasn't nothing, see what tomorrow brings. Trying to make a life out of simple things. Ooh, I feel like God Davis. Kitchen table covered with magazines, fresh cut apple, franks and beans. Telephone ringing, something new. What I wouldn't give for a day with you. Last day of winter, first day of spring. Living ain't easy, like a broke kite string. Today wasn't nothing, see what tomorrow brings. Trying to make a life out of simple things. Trying to make a life out of simple things. Trying to make a life out of simple things. There it is. Thanks, folks. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love doing this when Rod gives me the call. I love playing these things. It's always great to see Sonny. Sonny, you've been such a great supporter of mine for years. That it's so wonderful. No accounting for taste, but thank you anyway. I wish I had the tools back then to see those fools for fools back then. Stand tall enough in my own black skin when they rang the recess bell. See, I was part of that cartel of kids that did that awful thing we did, locking hands, making a circle, and shouting, hey look, it's Black Rochelle. Wasn't like I didn't have a choice. I'm as guilty as those other girls and boys, with satisfaction at your silver tears as down your face they fell. Didn't matter what they screamed or yelled, for once it was at someone else. Point a chubby, light-skinned finger singing, hey look, it's Black Rochelle. I never had the chance to say I'm sorry. You never had the chance to tell me to go on straight to hell. If I could take it back in time, what a different story I could tell. Oh, God bless the Black of Black Rochelle. Now I've been punching bag and bully bait, familiar with how they operate. A fat-ass sissy they could hate. Oh, I knew the blueprint well. But here my skin was lighter than, like my black ended where yours began. Licensed to join that loathsome clan, shouting, hey look, it's Black Rochelle. I never had the chance to say I'm sorry. You never had the chance to tell me to go on straight to hell. If I could take it back in time, what a different story I could tell. Oh, God bless the Black of Black Rochelle. Though maybe you're a lawyer or a Pentecostal minister, a supermodel, a homemaker, a doctor or a judge. Maybe you got children sitting around your kitchen table, and each and every one you teach to never hold a grudge. Maybe you've forgotten, like the pages of a calendar, coming fast, flipping past, each one looking the same. Maybe you recall a boy caught up in that broken crowd, for 50 years still haunted by that name. I never had the chance to say I'm sorry. You never had the chance to tell me to go on straight to hell. If I could take it back in time, what a different story I could tell. Oh, God bless the Black of Black Rochelle. Yeah. Thanks so much.
Vance.
Thank you for having me.
Vance, can you give us another? That was just so superb. Can we ask for one more?
Oh man. Oh, okay. Well, I had a request to do. Seems like everybody's doing hollers. I guess I'll do a holler. I call it a holler. I don't know what a holler is. I think it just means that you shout shit.
Oh.
I'm not sure. But I haven't done this in a while. There was a guy that used to live behind me that was self-professedly OCD, and he started taking over. He started mowing our lawn because he didn't like the way it looked. And my partner's a habitat gardener, so that ended up being a mess, as you could imagine. And we finally called the police. But I made up a story about him. I guess he was a brakeman on the like a second string brakeman on the bobsled team for one of the Olympics some years ago. But he never got to compete. Not that that was anything one way or the other. And he had a couple of little boys, and they make an appearance in this song. And I had to make some peace with that, because some people are just going to be the way they are. And there's a certain amount of ism in this, because you know, how dare somebody with the tiny house in the front, the black guy with the tiny house in the front, say that the woods that are the front door of my house should not be mowed, because he didn't like the way it was driving up to his 3-story colonial. So I wrote him this song. And I think we do that. When we do that, we write ourselves these songs. We say we're writing it for something else, but I did this to soothe my spirit. And I'm giving it to you now. Thank you. Let me take this opportunity to thank everybody before I jump into this holler. Thank you, Walter Parks, for always pushing the envelope. Man, we need to hook up, brother. You scare me. And Sonny and Ray and Greg and Brian and Rod and everybody else involved here, Bob, all you people, thank you for having me. It's a great way to finish off my weekend. I'm going to sit back and watch something stupid on TV when I'm done with this, because I've been traveling the whole weekend. I just got in from Tucson. And so here's my holler. The brakeman's son wanders through my gate, face and hands covered with what he last ate. My dog's licking from head to toe, knocking down gentle in the virgin snow. His daddy's nervous 'cause it don't make sense how his baby boy end up this side the fence. But these dogs will put a hurting on a stranger cub that ever lay a hand on the brakeman's son. Now me and your daddy don't speak, and that's fine, since he up and sold his parcel to the Northwest line. They cut the train trestle across my track, turned my topsoil into worthless sand. No, you will never see us breaking bread. Now the railroad got a price upon my head. We'll be doing battle till our days are done. There's a legacy for the brakeman's son. Now the brakeman stops a moving train, and his son looks up at the summer rain, and he catches raindrops on a little paper cup, and when that fills up on his tongue, oh, oh, now I'll never hold against a hard-working brakeman, doing his job the best he can, doing what he can to keep his family fed, still never be the one to move the train ahead. There'll never come a day we see eye to eye, and I think about it every time a train goes by. Foundation of my house is full of holes and tracks, and I said things to your daddy that I can't take back. Now the brakeman stops a moving train, and his son looks up at the falling rain. Now I can't unset the setting sun, and there ain't gonna be no winner when this war is won. But these dogs that put a hurting on a stranger come, that ever lay a hand on the brakeman's son. Oh.
Wow. Unbelievable. Oh, Vance, that was beautiful.
Take that, Walter Parks.
Oh.
Screaming at the hole in the guitar and everything.
Oh, Vance, you can scream for us anytime, and same to you, Walter. Well, thank you all so much.
Thanks for having me here. Thank you all. Monday night, Pajama Party on YouTube, and I got a new album coming out in April, so hopefully that's something people will be interested in, called The Mother of Trouble.
We look forward to that. Can't wait to play it. Thank you so much, Vance. Oh, Sonny, what an afternoon this has been.
This has been just absolutely wonderful. First of all, the fact that it was afternoon and I could stay awake.
Well,
I'm picking up for the aging folk audience. Afternoons are special. This one was really special. What a lineup. I was so happy to be invited to be a part of this one.
Oh, we're so glad that you could be here today. And let's thank all the artists. We began the afternoon with Steve Erikkson, followed by John Forster, Mad Agnes Trio, Bob Bossin, Josh White Jr., John Flynn, Lea Morris, Guy Davis, Walter Parks, Vance Gilbert. And we had a couple technical difficulties, but it's live, folks. And this is what makes it fun. It's everybody doing their best, and what an afternoon! And of course, let's thank them again, our incredible sound people, Greg Greenway and Brian Dozer, and the folks who put all this together: Rod MacDonald, Ray Mysick, Andrea Clausen, and Jerry Kornbluth. Thank you all for this. It's just been a treasure. And we've got more coming up next month. We're going to go back to Sunday evenings. So Sonny, we got to work on you to get you back here in the evening sometime. But next month is going to be a real special event. On March 5th from 7 to 10 p.m., we're going to be spotlighting Music to Life. It's a national nonprofit that was co-founded by Noel Paul Stuckey of Peter, Paul, and Mary fame, an organization he created with his daughter Liz, to connect socially conscious musicians with their mentors and resources and training that's needed to realize their bold visions for community change. And the lineup still being worked on, but it includes Emma's Revolution, Reggie Harris, Saul Paul, Carla Grover, Tanaya Winder, Thea Hopkins, Charlie Mossbrook, Jocelyn Wilkinson, and Emma Jane. It's a number of new faces and voices to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, and it's for a great cause too. So I hope folks will tune in. And Sonny, we hope to see you again soon. I know we're going to see you on Folk Music Notebook. I'm looking at the calendar. You've got another show coming up on February 26th. Have you been planning for it already?
Yes, well, Black History Month, I'm going to go heavy on that, but not exclusively. There'll be a lot of other things, including some of the people that are going to be in the next Greenwich Village Folk Festival. I always include a set of that. Important. And Ron, you are the greatest person to work with. We work with that, and we work, and you, all the work you do here. And I don't know if you guys know how many hours he puts in for Folk Music Notebook. And now we've started something new. We're doing a podcast for NERFA on Wisdom of the Elders, which is a monthly.
We took January off, but we're going to be back in February. We're going to be archived. We have some of the archive shows that you created at NERFA back starting in 2010 and Folk Alliance International, and we're doing some new ones too. So folks can check that out wherever they find their fine podcast.
They did one at Folk Alliance this weekend. I'm very happy.
It's a great series, a great idea that you came up with. Well, listen, I want to say goodbye to everybody because, it's dinner time now. Usually I'm ready to go to bed. Now I got to get ready for dinner. But again, I want to thank everyone who's donated to our tip jar. You folks are really the people that keep this going. I know this is a free concert for everybody to enjoy, but those of you who can afford to, it really means a lot. It helps these musicians that you're hearing. It helps keep this organization going. It's a nonprofit 501c3. So check it out in the Zoom or the Facebook or YouTube column, or just go to GreenwichVillageFolkFestival.org and you can donate there. Plus, you can find the archive of all these great shows. All right. Well, thanks to everybody. Thanks to you, Sonny. We'll see you again real soon, I hope. And I hope everybody out there has a great night. Thanks for joining us.